Yo, perv! Can you help me rebuild my house?
Please listen. What you saw wasn't what you think.
Yo, when I tell you I am in love with Dandadan, I am in love. Bro, I haven't felt this deep passion about an anime in so long ever since Akame got killed. And no anime has been able to fill that void up until now with Dandadan. While watching Dandadan, I've realized that they did the exact same 3 things as Akame got killed that made me fall in love with it. 1 is the love quarrels. 2 is the combat to character building. And 3 is the characters and story itself. All 3 of those things have made me fall in love with the anime. And recently, they just got finished wrapping up season 2 with their season finale with one hell of a disgusting cliffhanger. And I've been banging my head against the wall wanting more. But in order to explain on how we got here in the first place, we gotta go back to where it all first started. Back to the beginning.
Let's go.
Okay, when I tell you that the first episode of the anime was weird, it was weird. So we start off with the introduction of a female high school student and her current boyfriend walking to school. And if you're familiar with Japanese culture, you can tell that based off of her appearance, she is a guru or gairu or however the fuck you say that shit.
Well, so they'd say gyaru, gyaru.
Ah, okay. So it's basically a pretty attractive female and her shitty delinquent boyfriend. And while they're outside of their school, dude is telling her she gotta do this, she gotta do that, and that they should even hit up a love hotel, but she has to pay for it. Pretty much, dude is just trying to use her. So you know what she does? She gets fed up, drops all her shit, and tries to decapitate this man with a nasty left kick to the chrome. But bro was moving like Prime Goku and blocked her shit, putting her on her ass and telling her that he is through with her. And he just left her, sitting on the concrete, doing nothing. So she goes to class all sad and shit because she just got done by a shitty dude that her friends told her that wasn't even good for her. Then her friend proceeds to ask the $1 million question.
Why'd you fall for him anyway?
He looks like Ken Takakura.
Again.
Pause. What do you mean again? This isn't her first time doing some shit like this? You dated this nigga because he looked like your idol Ken Takakura? He don't look shit like him. I take that back, he do. But not only was this nigga not a gentleman, but he put belted ass on you? Man, what the heck? So then she goes back to insisting that there isn't anything wrong with liking her idol, then goes back to moping. She then decides to go for a walk down the hallway to take her mind off of it until she stumbles across an open classroom showing a group of boys throwing paper at a nerd who isn't even fazed by it at all, but pissed her off enough to make her want to step in for his defense. And see, I respect her for this, cause shit, we gotta stop the violence, y'all.
Stop the cap.
So when the dudes try to throw another piece of paper at him, they peeped her sitting in front of his desk, giving them the stare down of a lifetime that puts them in their place. Hell, she even strikes up a convo with the kid, asking him about his book before she left, leaving a profound impression on him. And so as she continues to roam the hallways endlessly, she hears her name, Momo Ayase, gets called out from the back, and it's the nerd from before. Instead of thanking her, he tells her that he thinks he knows what she is into, then proceeds to shove his book all in her face, saying she is into UFOs, or what he likes to call unidentified aerial phenomenon, basically saying she is into the occult. And she tries to tell him that she doesn't believe in aliens, but bro continues to reinforce his theory that she's into the occult. So she tries to leave and walk off, but he continues to get in her way and shove his book in her face, annoying her to the point that she says this.
I don't care! I just got dumped and I'm pissed off at everything, and the last thing I need right now is some nerd pushing their nerdy crap in my face! That right there is why you got no friends! There's no chance we'll ever be.
Damn, you ain't had to do all that, bitch. After saying what she said, she then walks off a little bit and then stops because she felt bad, and then turns around and goes back to pick up his book and tells him that she doesn't really believe in aliens, but she believes in ghosts. And once Cud heard that, he starts giggling his ass off, and that shit sends her off into a frenzy. So then they both get into an argument about which is real, alien or ghost, and while that's happening, they both make a bet saying that they dare each other to go somewhere that has either aliens or ghost sightings, and whoever is proven right becomes their gopher. And so when night hits, they're both on the phone with each other about scared as a bit while they're at their designated locations. Momo gets sent to an abandoned building while the kid gets sent to some abandoned tunnel in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. And bro about scared as shit after talking all that tough shit to her at school, but the spot she sent bro to is low-key sketchy as hell cause there's something inside that tunnel and we don't know what the hell it is. And so as they're both exploring their places, we get to explore a little bit more of Momo's past about why she believes in ghosts. Momo's parents were in her life and was raised by her grandmother who is a medium, and as a kid she would tell her to do this ritual on the way to school, all the way to school, that will constantly get her teased by the boys at her school. And the worst happened when the boys she liked even got in it on well and started making fun of her, resulting in her never doing the ritual again and not talking to her crush again. Momo then explains that she wasn't mad at the fact that her crush had made fun of her, but he had made fun of her grandmother who she is close with. Pretty much the fact that her grandmother had raised her, plus that she is a medium, is why she believes in ghosts. And as they begin to bond on their beliefs in the paranormal, the kid then stumbles upon some bloody footsteps that lead all the way to where he is standing and behind him, causing him to look back in fear. And once he looks forward, he sees.
I'll let you suckle my teats, boy, if you let me gobble your dong.
You don't gotta tell me twice. This freaky ass grandma said to this nigga that if you let me suck on your... She will let him suck on her bitties, and bro immediately folded under the pressure and ran away. And as he is running from the freaky ass grandma, Momo is on the phone trying to tell bro not to run from the grandma cause running is a bad idea, but buddy wasn't going for none of that. He is trying to keep his V car for as long as possible. And because he didn't listen to Momo, the freaky ass grandma popped her domain expansion and the hallway of the tunnel began to change colors and elongate itself. And as this is happening, Momo tells bro not to let her catch up with him since the grandma name is Turbo Granny, and that if she catches him, she will put a curse on him. And guess what happened?
Why are you screaming?
After Momo hears bro screams as he begins to lose his V-car, she tries to take off running to his aid, but then all the lights around her begin to pop down the hallway, leading to three mysterious figures that all look the same standing side by side each other. And after seeing that, Momo tries to hit the dash, but these motherfuckers were on her like white on rice. And this is where I said the episode gets hella weird, cause these motherfuckers begin to close in on her and begin to rip her clothes off. So then it fades to black and Momo reawakes inside of some type of room, locked down to a chair and nothing but her bra and underwear. They really made this part weird as hell, so I'm gonna try and say it in a language that won't get it demonetized. These three begin to tell Momo that they are aliens from a different planet and that they are a friendly species of aliens. That's the biggest lie I've ever heard. As Momo tries to break out, the aliens begin to tell her that their whole species only consists of males and that they can only reproduce using cloning technology and that their whole species has hit a wall. So in order to break past that wall and regain their reproductive organs, they tell her that
we shall have intercourse with you, after which we will extract your uterus along with your bananas for research purposes.
Yo, who the fuck came up with this image in their head? Who was thinking of this panel? Like, the image ain't all that bad. Well, it is that bad, but if I didn't blur this shit out, then I probably would have been demonetized. So after saying that they are going to have an hour of joy, no poppy playtime with her, they are then going to take her reproductive organs and bananas for research purposes. Momo begins to freak the hell out, but then they use some type of telekinesis on her to not calm her down. Bro, this shit is so weird, but to arouse her, and these motherfuckers also got renegades, and I'm just in complete shock, like what is going on? And I'm not showing the next part because I will get demonetized, even with censorship. But in short, they are hitting the I'm talking about in it emote on her legs, and before they can even start, her phone begins to ring off. And one of them walks up to see who it was, and as soon as he grabbed that motherfucker, a long ass foot came to crack his shit, dead in his jaw, sending him flying across the room. And coming to find out, it's some demon crawling through the phone, and then it proceeds to speed blitz the other aliens, biting its crotch and sending it flying. But that demon is actually the kid, and unfortunately his ass got more than cursed, he got possessed. So then the aliens begin to prepare for battle by taking off their fake human outfits, revealing their real alien identity. They ass is still talking about something.
Give us your banana.
Like, give it a break. So they try to attack the boy possessed by Granny, but she's controlling his body like Game 6 LeBron, and so she begins to no-dip the aliens until one of them hits him with the banana cannon special, sending him flying into the wall, momentarily giving the kid possession of his own body. And then he begins to talk about how he always wanted to be friends with aliens, sending us into a flashback about his past of being bullied all the way up until high school for liking aliens, and that he would always call out to them but they never showed up for him. But then he says that the only person who's ever cared for him is Miss Momo, temporarily giving him enough power to resist the telekinesis of the alien, but then he gets his ass humbled once again. And then the alien proceeds to say that they don't really fuck with the males of the human race but prefer to be friends with the females. And now it's starting to look like that they both finna end up on a t-shirt with their banana organs missing. And right before Momo gets sent into the hour of joy, she begins to have flashback about her grandma telling her young self about chi and how to release release it, causing her to have a breakthrough and unlocking her own psychic powers. We get to figure out that because the aliens were overstimulating her brainwaves, it caused her to unlock these psychic powers. And so then Momo drops down to deliver her classic left kick to the dome, but it gets blocked by the alien, but because of her powers, it causes her opponent to get guard broken and get sent flying out of the spaceship, causing it to reveal itself due to the damage it has sustained. But the kid is still tweaking since he is still possessed and tries to sneak Momo, but because of her psychic powers, she has the ability to repel Turbo's granny possession out of him, revealing her true self, saying that she took bro's V-card and that he has to come get it back in blood, and as long as she has it, the curse won't be lifted, meaning he will stay possessed. And so then Turbo Granny dips out and the alien ship is on a one-way course to crashing, and they're both still inside of it. And so after it crashes, we get a cut of Momo and the kid outside of it looking all beat up after what just happened. Momo constantly has to use her powers to suppress the possession of the kid, so then they both try to formulate a plan on how to remove the kid's curse, but then the kid shuts that down and takes it upon himself to remove it himself. He then begins to walk off while giving Momo his clothes so that she doesn't have to go home all naked and shit, but Momo insists on helping him remove the curse and she is the one who sent him over there. So as the kid finally gives in and lets Momo help him remove his curse, as they are walking, he tells her something that makes her heart skip a beat.
Listen, sorry, I'm an awkward guy. Could you please put these on already? I'm worried I won't be able to think straight.
Why is my heart beating so fast? No way. He just happened to say one of Kentakakuro's lines. That's all. Calm down. No biggie. My memory for names is awful. So, what did you say yours was again?
Oh, I'm Ken Takakura.
Yo, you telling me this whole entire time this kid name was Ken Takakura and she been looking for a man Makamura with a damn Takakura? Let me rephrase that. This kid's name is Ken Takakura and she's been looking for a Ken Takakura not knowing she had a 10 Takakura. Like, nigga, that's a bar. And that's one hell of a way to end the episode. Nigga, I'm hooked. Okay, that concludes the first episode and I told y'all it was gonna be a little weird. So now I'm going to speed run the rest of season 1 so I can get into the good stuff in season 2. Okay, so episode 2 isn't that an alien, is about Ken and Momo going to her house to regroup, and since Momo is still stuck on his name, she says his new name is Okarun. As they are there, Momo has to remove the protective charm that guards her house because it almost burned Ken to death since he is now possessed, and as they are at the house, we get a little slice of life moment between the two until something rings her second doorbell that is only there for ghosts and aliens. A flatwood alien Buddha statue appears and pops ult immediately. As they are fighting the alien, nothing seems to be working until they come up with a risky plan to use his Turbo Granny's power against the alien, unlocking a new, dripped out aura forming version of Okarun. The plan works and they get the charm back on the entrance, erasing the alien. The episode ends with Momo being completely exhausted and passing out, causing Turbo Granny to possess the kid and nearly eating Momo. Episode 3, Granny vs. Granny Clash, introduces us to a new character, well, one we already know about, Momo's grandmother. She proceeds to protect her granddaughter and full box Turbo Granny, causing her to retreat back into Okarun. We then get to learn about the curse. Turbo Granny has merged with a powerful earthbound spirit in the tunnel, making her stronger. So then a little training arc happens with Momo and Okarun getting help by her grandmother as she provides them with important things to help them win the battle. But since Okarun is missing his junk now, he has to go to the bathroom but has to stay in Momo's sight so that she can suppress Turbo Granny's possession until he gets possessed while he's on the shitter, saying to Momo that she will kill many people indiscriminately unless they both come to fight her. So then nighttime is the riot time and they're both suited up to take on Turbo Granny on her turf, but before they leave, Momo's grandmother tells her to be safe and come back home afterwards, sending them off. Episode 4, Kicking Turbo Granny Ass. Momo and Okarun challenge Turbo Granny to a game of tag, lured out her bounded spirit, and eventually exercise her crossing the city boundary. Pretty much a chase around the entire city, horse backing off of the kid. Momo's grandma then explains the tunnel's tragic history and Turbo's Granny rolling, aiding restless spirits. Girls around the age of Momo were essayed, violated, and killed where the tunnel of Turbo Granny was, causing them to become evil spirits. But Turbo Granny, whenever they die, would always show where they were killed according to Momo's grandmother. And within this same episode, man, bruh, this is where we get one of the most overused, annoying TikTok audios of all time.
See you tomorrow!
Episode 5, like, where are your balls? After defeating Turbo Granny, Momo and Okarun try to return to a normal life but struggle with the awkwardness and misunderstanding, and I absolutely love it. You can tell that both of them have feelings for each other and constantly want to be around each other whenever they can. Okarun then realizes that he is missing his testicles. Again, they discover that Turbo Granny escaped the exorcism by entering a doll, and she warns Okarun that he will never regain them unless he kills Momo or her grandma. But the tables are turned since Turbo Granny's consciousness is only in the doll, leaving her powers with the kid to control whenever he feels like it, and in order to get it back, she is at the mercy of Momo's grandmother. Now, episodes 6 and 7, no pun intended, pretty much piggyback off each other. A dangerous woman arrives into a kinder world. We get introduced to a new character that later becomes a part of the gang. Ira Shiratori, the popular girl in their school, actually has gotten her hands onto one of Okaru's balls that Turbo Granny said before, gaining supernatural insight and believes that Momo is some evil demon. And so since she thinks that Momo is some evil spirit, she tries to meet with her at some abandoned place and tries to exorcise her. And while that happens, a really strong yokai appears that can dance and use her hair to restrain and move herself, and people was putting belted ass on them for the majority of the episode. And for some reason, the yokai has a really bad obsession about Ira, and right before she gets her hands on her, Okaru comes in and finishes her off, but there is one problem. Ira's dead. So as she lays there dead, they try to come up with a plan to save her, but nothing works until the yokai that they were fighting offers up a solution, saying that she will give Ira her aura so that she can continue to live on, leading us into a flashback of the yokai's past of when she was a human. And not gonna lie, man, this shit was sad as fuck, man. I felt real bad. The yokai before she turned yokai was a single mother trying to make ends meet by any means necessary, even if she has to sell her body. She has a daughter who she invests a lot of her time into, even her dreams into, hoping that she can live a better life than what she currently is living. As a montage of them rolls through, we get hit with a hard dose of reality by seeing her child cry as she is watching her mother get beat and robbed by the people she owes. They brutally beat her and take her child as well, making her leave the house in a panic to chase after them. And man, bro, this shit is so sad. Cause bruh, she is running through the rain to find her daughter, dude. She finds the car that they are in but fails to make it due to her injuries. And as she lays there getting ready to pass out, bruh, I almost cried this shit, but she starts to dance with the stars, doing moves that she taught her daughter as she finally gets to feel the freedom from everything until she has to come back to reality of having everything taken from her in the blink of an eye. And as she stands there, with all hope lost, a small child grabs her hand and calls her name. She turns around to see who it is, and it is a young Ira. Man, fuck, I'm crying, bro. Her dad pulls her back and tells her that she shouldn't run off and that mommy isn't here right now, taking us to a funeral of her mother and Ira having to watch them take her mother away. We then get taken back to the lady as she begins to remember all the things that have happened to her after coming in contact with Ira, causing her to become an overly protective yokai spirit. Then Ira wakes up. After Momo finishes transferring the yokai's aura into Ira, they both started crying, having to rewatch the yokai's memories. The yokai begins to apologize to Ira as she tells her that she only wanted to protect her but ended up hurting her instead. And nigga, I got tears coming down, bro. As the yokai begins to fall apart and disappear, Momo asks why this is happening, and Turbo Granny says that her aura is gone now, meaning once it's gone, you'll be gone with it. It's like a battery, and with all the regret she's dying with, she won't be able to move on to the afterlife. Momo asks where will she go. The Turbo Granny says the only place she could go is that being the void, meaning she'll be erased from history and that it'll be like she would never even existed and no one will remember her. As the yokai is nearing her end, we get more flashbacks of her watching her daughter play and dance in the dress she is wearing as she continues to regret the fact that she didn't spend enough time with her daughter. She then wishes that her child would have been someone else's child so that she could have been happier and not miserable. And as that happens, Ira runs up to her, resembling her child, running to her, embracing her into a hug. Oh my god, bro. As Ira embraces her into a hug, she then starts to give a hug back, continuing to fall apart, and it reminds her of her child hugging her from a long day of work. The yokai then gives Ira a final hug, showing us one last couple of flashbacks of the daughter and her mother being happy together even through all the adversities and challenges. As Ira prays over the mother and child, the yokai finally disappears.
Guide them both to a kinder world. I won't forget. I swear.
I don't think I'll ever be the same after watching this episode. Not gonna lie, bro, after that episode, I don't even feel like going over episodes 8 and 12, so I'll set them up real quick. Episode 8, Ira is pretty much a part of the gang now, consisting of Momo, Turbo Granny, Okaru, and Momo's grandmother. Also consists of a whole lot of love triangle shit and misunderstandings. Also, the aliens from before pull back up to spin the block again. Episode 9 piggybacks off of episode 8. They continue to fight the aliens, and the aliens are moving different this time around. Ira has the powers of the Silky Acrobat Yokai, and with her help, they are able to defeat the aliens and spawn back into school with only their underwear and bras on. Episode 10, after fighting the aliens, Ira and Momo makes up, and while that happens, one of the aliens get left behind. They then take care of his wounds and help him out. And this show sure does know how to play into your emotions because the alien has a son who is severely sick and constantly need blood transfusions. After hearing that, they decide to help him out, and as Momo's grandmother smells him, she notices he smells like milk, giving him a glass to drink, coming to find out that their blood is similar to milk, solving this child's health issue problems, and leaves Earth. As they return home, we get introduced to a new character that gets thrown into the mix, Momo's old childhood friend and crush, Gigi. Episode 11, Momo Momo's old friend is in the mix now and is staying with her and her grandmother for the time being because of his parents almost committing suicide and having to be admitted into the hospital. Everyone goes home, including Okarun, as he feels some type of way seeing Momo's crush come back into her life, but Momo's feelings for Okarun stays the same. We then learn as Gigi and Momo catch up that he is here because he needs help because ever since he moved to a house, an evil yokai has been cursing his family and causing troubles. And within that same episode, we get introduced to two new characters that will be playing an important role later on, Toro and Hana, the human mannequins. Episode 12, Momo, Okarun, and Gigi go to Gigi's haunted house to investigate his family's curse, but before that happens, we get a small segment of how Toro and Hana's relationship works. Toro is the school mannequin and consistently has to leave the school at nighttime to visit Hana, who is staying over Momo's crib. Toro then runs into some trouble and he gets hit by Truck-kun, breaking him into a million pieces, but makes it in time to see Hana after day breaks, calling Momo a saint. As Momo, Okarun, and Gigi travels and arrives at his house, Momo goes to the bathhouse and Gigi and Okarun plays a game of bass to each other with a soccer ball while talking about Momo. Weird things begin to happen, like Okarun noticing Gigi's house is bigger on the outside and there being no rooms on that side, while Momo is at the bathhouse and a group of random mysterious men comes to assault her, leaving us on a cliffhanger. And that right there concludes Dandadan Season 1. And not gonna lie, bro, I'm really rocking with this anime. The love corals, the fights, the characters. Nigga, I'm hooked. This anime took me forever to record, so if you really like it, drop a comment saying your favorite anime, and if this video hits 1K views, I'll record Season 2. But until then, I'll see you on the next one.
Get jiggy with it. Yeah. Get jiggy with it. Get jiggy with it. Get jiggy with it. Get jiggy with it. Know them dance, no I can't get jiggy with them. Goddamn, that's your mans, yeah I know you will. 2 zips in my hands, yeah I know you smell them. 2 grips in my hands, so I gotta kill them. Got some bands at the bank, yeah I'm finna get them. Yeah I know you want them new shoes, so I'm finna get them. Yeah, get jiggy with it. Get jiggy with it. Get jiggy with it. Yeah, get jiggy with it.